So good evening, everybody, and thank you very much to Alister McLean, who's joining us tonight. Alister is the administrator for the Perth concert and has been for quite some time. Sadly, we won't be playing in Perth this year because of the pandemic. And in fact, the concert in Perth in February 2020 was the last time we were all together as an orchestra and as a family with our audience as well. So it's very sad that we're not playing this year, but I'm grateful to Alister, who's going to come and talk about a few things which I hope you'll find of interest. So evening, Alister.
Good evening.
So the first thing, Alister, how long have you been in the SFO and how did you come to join?
I've been in the SFO since 2003. Prior to joining, I was in the Dundee Strathspey and Wales Society and also a member of the Celtic Fiddle Orchestra. A number of the Celtic players were also in the Scottish Fiddle Orchestra, and one of those, the late Bobby McBride, proposed me to the SFO with the prospect of joining. I was auditioned in the Usher Hall in Edinburgh in the summer of 2003, in the afternoon before the concert in the evening. I got through the audition, although it was very nerve-wracking, I must say. I got through and played in the back row of the seconds that evening. And the rest is history, as they say.
So when did you take up the fiddle?
I took up the fiddle a lot later than most people take up a musical instrument. I was in my 30s when I took it up, having previously been an accordion player, or an accordion learner, shall we say. I took up the accordion at the age of, it was either 10 or 11, round about that time. A rather weighty Honor 96 button piano accordion. I can remember clearly struggling down to my music lessons on the bus into the centre of Perth, pumping this machine up to the music teacher's studio. My teacher at that time was Mickey Ainsworth, a very well-known accordionist and music teacher. He played with Ian Cowdery's Scottish Country Dance Band, one of the best bands around at that time. And as well as being my tutor, we became very good friends, and we kept up that friendship through the rest of his life. Mickey passed away, I think it must have been around 20 years ago, something like that. So the period between, after I reached possibly about 15, 16, I did develop an interest in the fiddle, but didn't get around to actually picking one up and learning until I was in my 30s.
Well, that is an interesting confession, that you started off in the accordion, something that you have quite understandably kept fairly quiet. It's not the sort of thing you want to get out into polite company, but ultimately you've seen the light and now you're in the right place. Interesting about a young boy with a large accordion. I think most of the followers of the SFO will be aware of your prominence on stage, and the question has to be, how tall are you, Alister?
Well, I think it might be an idea to run a raffle on that, down to the nearest millimetre, of course. We'll figure out what the prize is going to be later.
Okay, well, while people have a think about that, we'll have a wee bit of music. And here's one of the classic favourites for the Scottish Fiddle Orchestra, 100,000 Welcomes.